Here we go. Yes. Yes. There he is, looking mighty miserable. Oh, he's wearing his hat.
I would thought he'd be a bit happier than that, but I mean, I don't know. It's not like a massive surprise, is it really? I think, given the fact that he was so close to qualification automatically anyway, I know that you have opinions on his golf this year as a whole anyway, but obviously winning the Heritage, he's sort of actually kind of found more form this year than he has in previous years, especially given the fact that he got picked for Rome and he was even worse then.
Yeah.
His major form this year has been really poor.
Yeah, he failed on courses that were particularly long and particularly difficult and wide, and he won on a very short, very tight course.
Yeah.
So, read into that what you will. I think that he's getting in on Heritage. He's not getting in on his form this year.
Yeah, he's just definitely one of those players that, I'm by no means putting him in the same sort of echelon as Poulters and things like that for Ryder Cups, but he is if I was American looking in, he's one of those players that I think I would like to have, just because he is a little bit feisty and got a little bit of edge, and I think he will get into it a bit more than maybe what you would get with some of the other picks that were there. Yeah,
but you don't get to be feisty and fist bump if you're getting battered 6-1 by...
Well, he might, but, he's... It's always... I think it's a tricky one sometimes with Ryder Cups, because, again, we, as European fans, we are sat in the perfect position to talk about players who aren't that good any other week, and then one week comes around and they turn into one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, we're hoping that happens with Oberg. We're hoping that Lowry, if Lowry gets in, that Lowry's finally finds some winning form for the 3 days that he needs it. But the guys at in the six in Europe that are automatic have all played exceptionally well this year. So the picks are the important bit, really, because just like the US team, the top six, you can't question any of them, because they all earned their way in and played incredibly, and lots of them won.
Yeah.
Justin Thomas yes, he won, but it doesn't feel like they're picking him based on his ability to go out and play well, because he has done already this season. They're picking him because he has done before. Yes, I told you, Collin Morikawa. So
it's
Justin Thomas, Collin Morikawa. If he picks himself, we're going to win the Ryder
Cup. My thing with Collin is that he. We spoke about it before, and I don't like to focus in too much on one particular thing. But at the end of the day, to win holes, you have to make putts. And Collin Morikawa has been renowned for being a very streaky putter, in that some days it is cold, and I mean really cold. But then some days he rolls the rock well, and that again, that kind of all comes down to those 3 days of golf, who turns it on at the right time. This one, to me, is more weird than JT for me.
Do you reckon?
Just only busy being because I think, in my mind, I'm thinking of the Collin Morikawa from last year, who came close to winning majors, who was consistently good throughout the year. And then this year, he kind of hasn't got to that level again, but has been there or thereabouts. But he's then been very peripheral, very in the back of your mind, not really sort of thought about him much this year. This is I'm not this one I'm all right about. JT, I can understand both sides of it, but I think you just have to go with what you know, and you know that he does enjoy the environment of a Ryder Cup, and if he does play golf at the right time, or good golf at the right time, he'll be a problem. The problem is that you're going to think his playing partner in Jordan Spieth is not going to be here this year.
No.
So that'll be an interesting thing to see how he kind of,
Unless,
hey.
Isn't Spieth still injured? I think Spieth's still injured.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably weirder things that have happened.
Yeah. I mean, in Ryder Cup history, it wouldn't be the oddest thing to ever have occurred.
Yeah.
But listen, I think this bodes well for Team Europe, that they're picking two players, in my mind, who haven't played to their best of their ability this year, and hoping that, like you said, they have the form on the weekend when they need it. So I feel good so far.
Yeah.
I feel as good as I could have felt. But also the two most predictable picks. They're in position 7 and 8. You know, they almost made it into the automatic spots, didn't quite. So if you're not taking the people nearer the top of the list, then you clearly aren't doing your research anyway. So Keegan Bradley, as predictably as possible, has picked the two players who we expected.
Our third captain's pick is Ben Griffin.
There you go.
There we go. Ben Griffin's in.
I'm 3 for 3 so far.
Yeah.
That one I think is a good pick. He's just made such an astronomical jump this year. You know, he's not only won twice, you know, once by himself, once with Novak, but then also he has just played so consistently well throughout the year. It's not been what I would put in a Justin Thomas kind of sort of mold of peaked and troughed at different points, and it's kind of hard to work out what kind of player you're going to get. I mean, Justin did have a good finish towards the end of the Tour Championship, but with Ben Griffin, it's just one of those situations where I think he falls into that bracket of you just couldn't look past it in terms of how good he's played this year.
Yeah.
But then, you know, this is what I said about before we got to this point. Like, it's this transitional period for this American team where this guy was not even touching the team. You know, I remember I put a question to you and the other guys at the start of the year to say, like, oh, you know, who are the potential sort of rookies that we might see? And, you know, as did I, as no one, you know, no one said Ben Griffin, because why would we think Ben Griffin?
Yeah.
And that's obviously the beautiful thing about golf.
We didn't know he was going to have the year he was going to have, you know?
Absolutely, no. And, you know, I think even maybe with the Ryder Cup for Europe, we said maybe Dietrich's name, and obviously he got off to a good start. But I like this pick.
It's a much more I want to. This guy basically has played his way in, despite not making it into the automatics. He played so well this year. Every time the camera was on him, you were expecting him to do something very, very good. He was always near the top of the leaderboards of the tournaments he was in. We got used to, we got used to seeing his name at the top of the leaderboards, and he did it consistently.
Absolutely,
which is the thing that Thomas and Morikawa haven't done, which makes this a scarier pick from the European perspective.
I think it makes complete sense. You could say he's won tournaments on the PGA Tour playing 4-ball foursome formats. He's obviously a great player in his own right throughout the year, and that's probably the scariest so far.
Cam Young.
Okay, there you go. So I'm 4 for 4 now.
You are?
He to me was that kind of 12th man, what are they going to do pick.
Yeah, he was your peripheral.
He was my peripheral, and that to me, if this is the way that he's gone, that means that the likes of like a Maverick McNeely and things aren't going to get in the team. I think it's a good pick. I think he's a good course fit. He obviously needs to hit the ball long off the tee to get around Bethpage, and he certainly is that.
Yeah.
He's obviously a guy that's won very recently on the tour. He's very much in the Tommy Fleetwood bracket of winning his first time on tour. Had a great finish in the Tour Championship. Obviously got to the FedEx final. Yeah. This is one of those kind of guys in the ascendancy where this picking situation helps a lot, because, you know, I remember thinking back to years past with Europe and stuff and having, I think maybe like Westwood or something falling in the 7th, 8th automatic spot, and you're kind of stuck with him, but because he played so well at the start of the year and he didn't quite fall out of the. So this is definitely where this selection, because by the start of the year, like, you know, no one was mentioning Cameron Young's name. He'd obviously fallen off the face of the earth in a way, you know, especially given the fact of how close he came to winning at St Andrews and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's scary because he just gives nothing away as well. Like, I can't tell if he's going to be. I feel like he will get a bit pumped, but at the same time, he's just a bit of like a stone cold killer. Like
but you know, there's a, you know, like an attraction to that, particularly for a course like Bethpage in New York, where the crowd are going to be rowdy. If he can just stalwart himself up, feed off the crowd, and just turn that into birdies, then this is a real problem.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like you said, he's long, in form. He's got the kind of winning feeling more recently than than the first two guys that came out. Like this. But again, we don't know which version of him turns up. Beginning of the season, Cam Young, not a problem. middle to the end of the season to winning to playing well, Cam Young, probably a problem.
Yeah.
And long and very long.
Yeah. So that's okay. So that's what, four picks down there?
4 picks in.
So I had Burns and Cantlay is what I thought was going to happen.
It's going to be Cantlay and himself.
See, I feel like that's got to happen now. Like, I feel like if someone like McNeely had also come up, or a Gotter up, or someone like that, then I would maybe be thinking, but surely that's the way he goes.
You got to pick Cantlay. Cantlay's like he's your kind of stirrer of the pot. Cantlay will be, won't he? He'll just frustrate the hell out of everyone. The crowd will get behind him. Team Europe will have to like not get sucked into the drama of La Cava and the crowd and the hats and all the stuff from last time, and focus on playing the golf. So I think Cantlay's got to be in. If they don't pick Cantlay next, then we got a bit of a problem, because that means that Keegan Bradley's not picking himself.
I mean, as someone maybe we're just reading the comments there, and looks like he might have just said something accidentally to spoil a pick. But the comments is saying about Cantlay is that maybe, I mean, this is obviously but maybe Cantlay just had said, I don't want to do it.
Oh,
like, because we don't really know because obviously there was the reports in Rome that came out about him not wanting to wear the hat and wanting to be paid and all this kind of stuff. Maybe he just went, I don't want to do this.
There was a time, I think 60s, where someone skipped the tournament to go hunting instead of playing the Ryder Cup. Yeah, so it wouldn't be the first time.
Okay. So
come on, Pat.
Let's
have a smile, Pat.
He's got no hat on.
Let's have a smile, Pat. Oh.
Right, so Cantlay's now picked, so that's 5 of 5 for me.
Is Burns your last one?
Burns was my last one.
Right.
And by the comments on the YouTube, it seems to suggest that Cam Young might have accidentally spoiled it. But anyway, again, this makes sense to me. He, again, hasn't had the best year in the world, but I think that's the thing.
Missed a lot of cuts in majors.
Going into this, you have to say that the European side have had the more informed players / ascending players than the American side has, which is why the picks is slightly harder to select from this bunch of guys than it is compared to our team, because I think ours just makes sense. You can kind of just see it from the standings. Whereas you could have gone many different ways, because you had those Chris Gotterups that had really come through recently, Cam Young who had come through recently. But then you had these Thomases, Morikawas, Cantlays that are the names you expect to see on a Ryder Cup team sheet. And that's obviously the way he's going. But
will we be seeing those names in the next 2, 3, 4 Ryder Cups? The JTs who, not age themselves out, but aren't maybe playing to the standard that they once did. The Morikawas, Cantlay, as these players fall off, it'll be interesting to see who the people are coming through who take those spots and become the Ryder Cup, heroes and legends or villains. And we are in that period where the two worlds are coming together. Europe did it a few years ago. We had a period where we were holding on to the Westwoods and
Stenson, McDowell,
we were like hoping that they would bring us the previous glory that they had done, while we also brought through that kind of Fleetwood era and those kind of people. So, and now we're playing really, really well, and we're coming off the back of a really nice win. So let's see how that progresses and who those players are who come through to come and take these spots, because there's got to be a limit for JT and Morikawa and Cantlay, who have been doing it a while, and maybe aren't showing the form that they previously did.
Yeah, sure. I think that's always really kind of been the case. I think that sort of the transitional period for both teams has almost kind of been 2 to 4 years out of each other. Like, we sort of went through it as these guys were coming in, and that team from 4 years ago, or whenever at Whistling Straits, and it was look how strong this team is, how gradual in the rankings they are. Last pick coming in now. Okay.
Oh, my God. Jacob got all of them right.
Sam Burns. We'll come to Sam Burns in seconds. But, that team that played at Whistling Straits, and it was kind of this look at this team and look how young they are and look at what we're going to have to deal with for the next 10 years. And obviously you don't know what's going to happen. Things fall off and change. But then we've done the kind of Stenson's left, Garcia's left, McDowell's left, Westwood's left. All those guys, Keimer, Poulter, all those guys have gone. We're now embedding in those new Hovland, Oberg, Fleetwood, Hatton. Obviously they've played a few now.
Led by Rory and
Rahm, and all those kind of guys. And Rose is obviously still just sticking around, which is great to have that leadership in the locker room. But this American side, you say they've almost kind of. They had this purple patch and they had this period where you thought these guys were, and they've just, Scotty's obviously come through and there's guys that are still there, but they've not continued the ascendancy in the way that you'd expected them to. But as you say, final pick Sam Burns. So that was 6 for 6 for me. Which
Jacob got all of them right. Congratulations.
Obviously does mean Keegan is captain.
Yes, not playing captain. Which I think makes them a stronger team.
I agree. I think that
despite him being ranked higher than lots of these guys, him concentrating on his job and delegating and decision making makes them a stronger team than if he was also trying to get the ball in the hole at the same time.
Yeah. So just a quick run through again, obviously. So Justin Thomas, Collin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, and Sam Burns are your picks. The guys that probably are going to feel a little bit hard done by, maybe thought they might, someone like Maverick McNeely. Obviously, Keegan was there, Brian Harmon. Novak was someone who played amazing at the start of the year and really tailed off towards the end. I think that's what probably did it for him. You've got someone like Wyndham Clark. You've got Gotterup, who probably just left it a little bit too late. There's Akshay, Lucas Glover, Wyndham Clark, those kind of guys as well.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think from that kind of 20-ish names we've got there, however many it is, I think he's probably picked this. I picked the ones that he should go for.
Yeah.
So I'm slightly concerned about the team, but I still think they don't all carry in as much form to make me worry as much as I probably would be.
Yeah.
But in terms of the 6 picks he's made, I think he has done a good job.
I think he has picked the most obvious and the most American team that he could have picked.
Yeah.
He's got experience in there. He's got some winners from this year in there. He has got some younger players in there who maybe are coming in and playing their first, second Ryder Cups. Even his qualifiers, people like JJ Spawn coming in for the first, he has got a good mix.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a battle. It is going to be tough. We will almost definitely do another version of this when Luke Donald does his announcement. I imagine it will be much quicker. As those picks come out, we will also do a semi-reaction version for those. That's the team. Scheffler, Spawn, Schauffele, Henley, English, DeChambeau, Thomas, Morikawa, Griffin, McNeely.
No, Young.
Yeah.
Cantlay Burns.
Young, Cantlay Burns.
There you go.
There we go. You did it. Congratulations, Keegan Bradley. You came second at the Ryder Cup.
So there we go. I think that's probably enough chit-chat from us two.
It is indeed. Oh, look at them all there.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't they all look sad? Why is Thingy Bob the only one wearing his hat?
Don't know. Anyway.
Right. We are going. This is coming out tomorrow morning. We're hoping to be pretty early on the train of people reacting to it. So thanks so much for your patience this week. We are going to get back to regularly scheduled programming at some point. There's Scotland next week. Hopefully we can get one done then.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's more break time. So, hey, we'll be back in your ears as soon as we can be. Thank you again. Thanks for watching. Go check out NordVPN. Your link is in the description. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.